Welcome to this video. In this video I'm going to teach you the basics of data modeling in Power BI. First we will have a look at the different types of tables that are needed, and afterwards I will show you how you can connect these tables to create a star type data model. I have imported a small data set related to sales. For data modeling it is most efficient to use two types of tables: fact tables and dimension tables. Fact tables are most of the time very long and contain, for example, transactions. Dimension tables, on the other hand, can be very wide tables that contain, for example, employee details. These are then linked with each other to slice and dice data based on the different dimensions. Now, from this data set, what we want to do is create dimension tables. We are going to do this by using the most important columns from the fact tables, which contain the IDs. These will become the linking keys with which we can connect the fact and dimension tables. We can create these dimension tables in the Power Query editor. What we do first is we duplicate the fact table. Now we rename this sheet to dimension countries, and we only want to keep the unique values and the appropriate columns. We only want to keep country and the country ID. So we remove the other columns, and then we remove the duplicates. Now we have created the dimension country table. Now we do this for the other dimensions as well. So for the products, we again duplicate, rename, we delete the columns, and only keep the unique values. Now we have created the products dimension table. So now we have created all the dimension tables. However, all the columns are still in the fact table. To make the data model more efficient, we're going to delete all unnecessary columns from the fact table. These are all the columns that do not contain something with the key. So for example, the country, the product name, and the salesperson can be removed. This makes the data model more efficient. We have created the dimension tables and have got a fact table. Now the only table that is missing is the time table, which is very important for time intelligence within Power BI. We can do this by creating a new table and using the calendar function. So at the top we use the calendar function. The start date of this dataset is the 1st of January 2020, and the end date is the 1st of September 2021. So now what Power BI will do, it will generate a list of dates that fall between these dates. The last step is to mark this table as the date table to let Power BI know that this is the date table to be used for time intelligence. So we now select the date column, and this is now our date table. The last step is to start creating the relationship between the dimension and the fact table. We do this by dragging the ID keys to the ID columns of the fact table. So the product dimension table is linked to the fact table by the product ID. The date table is linked by the date. And the country table is linked via the country ID. And lastly, the employee table is linked via the employee ID. So we have created the simple star data model, and you now know what fact tables and dimension tables are. You can use this for building your dashboards in Power BI. If you like this video, you can subscribe to the channel for more videos about business analytics. Also let me know in the comments what you would like to see next. Thank you for watching.